Sacco and Felice, New York and New Jersey's premier attorneys at law. Their team brings decades of experience across a wide range of practice areas. Whatever life brings, they're your legal team. From everyday matters to complex cases, they've got you covered with the experience you need and the results you want. Because when life gets complicated, they make it simple. SaccoFelice.com. SACCOFILLAS.com. 2 C's, 2 L's.
In the squadron, they called him Bullets, but we call him Greg Kelly. Greg Kelly is on the air on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Oh, they got those clips from Bubba the Love Sponge again, the Tucker Carlson. I heard these on MSNBC a million years ago. Why are they back in the news? Well, they're trying to take out Tucker. They're trying to take out Tucker. I know Tucker apparently, reportedly, has said a lot of controversial stuff. I'm sorry, and this is not a cop-out. I just can't keep up with all the content out there, right? I can't sit down and listen to a 4-hour podcast every 2 minutes, and half of America right now, the media culture is people upset about what somebody said on a podcast, all right? And at the end of the day, it's words, although words can lead to actions, and, there are some things, and we have standards and all that. But I actually don't believe that Tucker is an anti-Semite. I don't believe that. But if anybody has evidence to the contrary, I love Israel. I think what happened on October 7th was the ultimate atrocity inflicted upon Israel, and the counterattack has been exceptional, disciplined, warranted, proportional, actually a little bit not exactly 1,000% proportional, but that's okay because you got to retaliate harder. I know that Israel has gone way out of its way to not harm innocent non-combatants, women and children, right? Have women and children died in this conflict? Absolutely. Starting on October 7th, a number of Israeli, Jewish women and children, okay, and men who are just going to that concert, right? But yes, women and children, unfortunately, tragically, horribly do die in war. And that's one of the reasons why war must be fought as a last resort. You don't want to go into a war unless you absolutely have to. And the alternative means more death. The alternative, because it's one of the many reasons why war is hell. War is hell. Because bad things happen in war. Women and children get killed. There's friendly fire incidents. You name it, it's going to happen in war. Doesn't mean all war is unjust. All right. Sometimes you got to. Sometimes you must. Preventing Iran from having a nuclear weapon, I think that is a war is warranted. And this has been rather mild. 13, 14 lost. I don't like that, obviously, but this is kind of part of the arrangement when you join the military. There is the possibility that you will be called into service and you will die. Don't like to think about it too much when you're doing it, but it's the thing. Hey, do me a favor. Let's take a quick time out. I want to go right to the White House, and the president just introduced a military mom. I want to hear what she has to say. A beautiful event in progress right now at the White House. Go ahead.
Marine as well. So, Brittany, your family is a definition of Semper Fi and always faithful. And I want to thank you. Where are you? Where are you? Please stand up. Would you like to come up and say, come here, Brittany. Come here.
Thank you. I'm not really sure what to say, but this is such an honor and a privilege to be here. I'm truly touched to represent my family, the Marine Corps, Camp Lejeune, and military moms and spouses like you all. So, thank you.
You got to be ready with the speech in your back pocket when you're at an event with President Trump. He just might call you to the stage. A little bit more, if you don't mind.
I looked at her. I said, she looks so great. I'm going to get her up here, right? That was beautiful. Thank you very much. As Melania mentioned, we're also honored to be joined by a military mother who sacrificed far more than most. That's Melody Wolf. And, I love the name Melody because for a long time, they have spell correct and word correct on these crazy machines that we use to put out truths, or they used to be called tweets. And every time I wrote Melania, it would correct to Melody. So I do things, and I work very fast. blah, 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 and I talk about it, and I say, and Melania is fantastic, and happy Mother's Day, Melania, our great First Lady Melania, but it would spell correct and word correct to Melody, and sometimes I wouldn't proofread it, and I'd say, and I would get just absolute decimated. These people would decimate. They said he didn't know the name of his wife. He keeps calling her. And I said, what the hell is wrong with this machine? I didn't know about that little feature, but I got that corrected eventually. You know who corrected? The military. I said, come here, you got to correct this. You're killing me. I took more abuse. She's been called Melody a lot. Anyway, I had to explain it to you this way. I stood up here to explain it to you. I apologize. Last year, Melody's 24-year-old son, Andrew Wolf, of West Virginia National Guard, was on patrol in Washington, D.C., helping to restore law and order to our capital city. And I spoke to her. This woman is amazing. Along with her comrade, specialist Sarah Backstrom, who is just was a fantastic person. He was ambushed by a terrorist and shot in the head. A violent, horrible person did this. Nobody thought Andrew was going to make it, but Melody told me, and I called her that evening in the hospital. Sarah, I have no doubt the doctor said he won't be making it. And as you know, Sarah passed away also from a shot to the head by these people, these horrible, horrible people. But Melody was the one person. In fact, Melody's husband, who's great, he didn't feel the same way. But she said, I have no doubt, sir. I'm telling you, he's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. He's going to be fine. I never saw anything. It was really pretty amazing. And she was right. A week went by, another week went by. I'd call. I'd say, how's he doing? Sir, he's doing really well. And the doctors would say, I think he maybe will make it. And she turned out to be right. It was sort of a miracle, actually. And I've never seen, they talk about the power of positive thinking. I've never seen anything like this one. JD, you wouldn't believe it. He had no chance. I'm telling you, and she willed it. And now it's really something very special that I hear he's just doing fantastic. It was a Bible verse from the book of Isaiah. Do not fear, for I am with you. With God's help, Andrew has made a really incredible recovery. It's hard to believe. And during my State of the Union address, we were privileged to award him the Purple Heart. This was a real Purple Heart. This was a terrible thing that happened. And Melody, where are you, Melody? There you are. Hi. Haven't seen you in a little while, but it's true, the story, right? You were the only one. You know that you were the only one. She was so positive, I don't think she heard anybody else. And your husband's doing okay, and he feels much better about it. He was not feeling too good. I think you should. Do you want to say something about your boy and how? Come on up here, Melody.
Oh, gosh.
No, it's an amazing.
It's beautiful.
It's such an amazing story. Such an amazing story. Come. We went through a couple of bad nights together, right?
Oh.
Yes. I first want to say that we had the nation behind us at a time when nobody thought our boy would make it. He was 24 years old. He was a young man on the streets of D.C. A shot to the left part of his brain. We have a strong faith in God, and God is what brought our son through this. He gave us an amazing backing. He gave us amazing doctors. He gave us amazing nurses. And our community, our nation, our community, are just all of the support and the support of the White House medical staff. Anything that our son needed was met. We are just truly thankful. And we're a little over 5 months. He came home from the hospital April 2nd, and he is now enjoying being home. He's getting back into playing golf. He loves cornhole, as you know. Yes. That's right. He loves doing so many activities, and so we're truly blessed that we're able to get him into some outpatient care closer to home. We do have another surgery coming up in September, and just recovery is my understanding that will happen for quite some time, but I have no doubt that he will be 100% back to Andrew within a few years, independent, driving, being a young bachelor again. So thank you so much.
Incredible. That's incredible. That's incredible. Nobody really can understand it, but I was with the general, who was fantastic, right? And he said, not much of a chance, maybe no chance. I mean, I hate to say it even, but no chance. They all said the same thing. And she said, no, God is with him. I'm telling you, President, God is with him. He's going to be okay. And I get reports that he's amazing. Right? So congratulations. Thank you very much. You taught us all something.
Well, I'm going to remember this. You remember this, right? The National Guard people on the streets
also
of Washington.
Also joining us is an outstanding active duty Air Force mom.
There's a sweetness to this.
Lieutenant Colonel Amanda Colazzo. She's an MQ-9 Reaper drone pilot. Ooh. Whoa, that's pretty good.
The same reaction.
An evaluator, a weapons officer, and desk officer at the Defense Threat Reduction Agency. She has traveled to 20 countries, flown over 7,000 hours, and eliminated many high-value targets.
You better believe it.
Great talent, they say. Our military is strong again, and as Amanda says to herself, and we are, as a nation, we are really respected again. She said that, and it's true. So, Amanda, thank you very much. Where are you, Amanda? Where are you? Come on up here, Amanda. I got to do this. You know, they're not expected to, but they're doing very well. Come on up. That's great.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Melania, for hosting this event. Thank you, Cindy, for inviting me out here. I just want to say I'm proud to be an American. I am proud to serve our nation, the world's greatest Air Force. Thank you for all of the moms out here and for your spouses, your kids, yourselves. So thank you all, and happy Mother's Day.
Well, it's really nice to watch, actually. I'm enjoying it. There's a sweetness to this president, a sweetness and a thoughtfulness. And you probably can't pick all of it up on the radio, but when you watch him and these people speak, how intently he's listening. You know, this is not somebody who's going through the motions. This isn't Joe Biden with a card. You stand here. You say this. You go there. He's orchestrating this. This wasn't pre-planned. You can kind of tell, right? Yeah, come on up here. Come on up. Why don't you say something? And they speak beautifully, and they speak from the heart, and that's what it is. It's from the heart. Something else. This whole presidency, unfortunately, over the past, 70 years, has become a machine, right? A government machine. The machinery is more important than the people. The machinery of government, the machinery of the executive branch, the machinery, euphemistically called norms. Well, that ain't in the Constitution, baby. It ain't. And that's what Barack Obama thinks he can fool us with. That hideous display last night on Colbert. How dare that man, all right? You know what he feels? He feels emasculated, right? He had the power, and he blew it. He just wanted to be cool. He just wanted to be cool. And I think the most damage he did was after he left office. After he left. That's when he really unleashed. And he might even have been weirdly more powerful. If you're heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, you're taking a risk. Most people don't think about it until it's too late. Summer colds linger and can turn into sinus infections that last for weeks. Getting sick right before vacation can derail everything. And when you're traveling, finding a doctor and pharmacy is stressful, and that's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having urgent care in a pharmacy right at home. It includes essential prescriptions like amoxicillin, also a generic Z-Pack. Those are great to have around, believe me, to treat a wide range of common and serious illnesses. So if you wake up sick at home or on the road, you already have what you need. No waiting rooms, no, where's the doctor? What time is it? You don't have to go to urgent care and hang around there for too long. No pharmacy lines, no copays. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call the telemedicine doctor standing by. Start on your meds sooner and feel better faster. Every home needs at least one medical emergency kit. Order yours online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code GREG, G-R-E-G. Put it in there at urgentcarekit.com/Greg, urgentcarekit.com. And that promo code is Greg, urgentcarekit.com/Greg.
Let me tell you about ProHealthConnect.com. It's transforming healthcare payments, providing retailers a seamless process for over-the-counter and healthy benefit programs. By connecting retailers, health plans, and payment processors, ProHealth Connect creates one powerful, unified network. They empower independent grocers and pharmacies to accept health benefit cards without changing how they do business. With over 10,000 locations nationwide, helping more than 1.3 million people access the care and nutrition they need. Go to ProHealthConnect.com.
Greg Kelly on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
800-848-9222. 800-848-9222. Have you ever been in a situation, possibly at school, possibly at work, possibly, I don't know, wherever the hell you hang out, where somebody has a reputation of just being a little bit better than everybody else, right? Oh, wow, that guy. Have you seen Bill? Oh, he's so impressive. Why? Well, he's just, he's great. He's just, well, yeah, what did he do? Well, he's just really impressive. Why? Is he tall? Is he what? It's something called the halo effect. Have you ever heard the halo effect? The halo effect. I found a little video that describes the halo effect. We've all seen this in life. Somebody who gets too much credit just for being normal. Where the hell is this thing again? The halo effect. Cut 4, please. Cut 4.
What do you think? Would this man make a good doctor?
He's a good-looking guy.
What about him? Would you trust him with your surgery? Most people would probably want to get treated by one rather than the other.
The handsome one.
And most people are likely to be wrong about that. When you look at the sun, you sometimes see it clearly. But sometimes you'll see it shining way bigger than its actual shape. That circle of light that makes it look bigger is called a halo. The halo effect also happens when a person, product, or company shines like the sun. Then we don't see them clearly and associate all sorts of unrelated qualities to them.
Well, at first it took me a moment. The halo effect around the sun. Yeah, when the sun is setting, right? You can actually see the surface of the sun. You can see it as it goes down the round. You can see it's a great big ball of fire, but it's a ball. In the middle of the day, it's up there. You can't even look at it. It's so bright. You can't tell where it starts, where it stops, right? It's a great big shiny light. This is Gavin Newsom. This is the secret to his success. His looks. Man, that guy looks like a winner. I mean, look at the teeth and the hair and the clothes, and he's so slim. Oh, my word. He should be president. Folks, he ain't going to be president. They're going to take him out, just like they took out Biden, just like they took out Swalwell. I'm not saying he's messing around with girls or whatever, anything like that, but they're going to find a reason to get rid of him because they know what I know about him. And what I know about him, he told me in his own stupid book. There's an old-timey phrase, hoisted on his own petard. He just shot himself in the gut.
Greg Kelly, entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
There was a time if you wanted to stand for public office, they used to call it standing for public office. You didn't campaign, you didn't run. Well, maybe you campaigned a little bit, but you stood for public office. Ronald Reagan did it. It's interesting. Ronald Reagan entered politics at about the same age Gavin Newsom is now. And Gavin Newsom has been in politics for 30 years, continuously in public office since 1996. Not one break. From one job to the next. San Francisco supervisor, San Francisco mayor, lieutenant governor of California, and then governor of California. 30 years. Ronald Reagan, mid-50s is when he first entered the world of politics. Now, he was a known figure, obviously, a great actor, also the president of the Screen Actors Guild, and a known conservative. He had been speaking about issues. He campaigned hard for Barry Goldwater in 1964, and the General Electric tour. People knew that this was a man of great ideas and great eloquence. And there was kind of almost a draft. You know what I mean? This would be a great guy. This would be a great man to have a position of leadership in our community, in our state, in our country. Here's Ronald Reagan kind of saying it plainly, the political stuff that he's going there. 1966, cut 1, please. Then private citizen Ronald Reagan.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For the last 6 months, I've been traveling up and down the state, meeting as many of you as I could, answering questions and asking a few. There isn't any secret as to why I've been doing this. I've said, as you've been told, that I'll be a candidate for public office once I found the answers to a few questions myself, mainly about my acceptability to you. Who'd like to be governor isn't important. Who the people would like to have as governor is very important.
Very elegant, huh? Where are we now? Where are we now? Mr. Guy Smiley, psycho killer, Gavin Newsom, cut to go.
He runs the state of California, and he's got a new memoir. It's called Young Man in a Hurry. Please say hello to Governor Gavin Newsom.
Hey! Woo! Wow! He's famous. So handsome.
Well, first of all right. I want to tell you how honored I am and we are not only to have you here, but to have you here announcing that you are running for president.
Oh, is that?
Oh, God.
Incredible. Incredible. Well, hey, he's a human being. Who wouldn't eat this stuff up? Gavin's having too much fun. It's one of the reasons why the Democrats are going to take him out. This silly book that I've actually read. I think I'm the only person in the country, actually. Cut 3.
This book is about a leader who is reflecting on the mistakes that have shaped him, and a public figure who is wrestling with ambition in a world that often rewards speed more than wisdom.
Let's turn to the book, Governor. It's beautifully written. It's a deep and profound reflection that attempts to piece together these holes in your memory.
I'm excited that we're here to discuss your book and talk about your legacy and the things that you've done. Atlanta loves you. Atlanta likes this man right here. We love Governor Newsom.
Well, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want to be feted like that? These people who did not read the book, they're chosen. Here's a franchise. It's called An Evening with Gavin Newsom. An Evening with Gavin Newsom. And it's all the same template, the same questions even. And they find a local person of prominence. In the Atlanta thing, it was the mayor. Somewhere else, they got a state senator. They got somebody sympathetic. They got a Democrat. And all of them even acknowledge, I received the book this afternoon. I was perusing through it. And so there's some amazing things going on here. Amazing things. He's lying in front of everybody, and nobody seems to have the time to write it down. Nobody seems to have the bandwidth to notice. Now, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm not saying I'm special or whatever, but I do know how to listen. All right? I listen. And I like to not watch clips. The clips can be misleading. I play clips here, but guess what I've also done? I've watched the whole damn thing, and I've actually picked the highlights myself. All right, so I watched these sickening 2-hour discussions. Gavin Newsom, An Evening with Gavin Newsom. I spent like 18 nights now watching Gavin Newsom crap. He's lying his ass off like crazy. And it happens right in front of your face. All right, now, also, I read the book. I know what he's saying about the book. And what he's saying about the book is not the book. There's a whole, why, and nobody knows that. I don't think, well, I'll get to that in a second. First of all, You tell me. All right, listen to this. Gavin Newsom, looking for sympathy for himself, telling stories about his mom. You ready for this? Cut 5.
A memoir of discovery. I discovered what hard work and grit really look like in the face of my mom. I didn't fully appreciate her. I never had a chance to thank her. She died 20 years ago. And the lens was all me. I'm her son. Me. And I never knew what she was struggling with.
Well, the me part rings true. He never had a chance to thank her. Has he ever heard of a little thing called Mother's Day? All right, yeah, she died 20 years ago. She finds out she has breast cancer. She announces it to the family. Gavin writes all kinds of nasty little asides about his own mother in the book. You know, she drank cheap wine. She was jealous of the Gettys. She was taking away our Christmas presents. All kinds of nasty things, to be honest. It's a nasty. But now he, in the moment. Now, he just said he couldn't tell his mom any of that stuff, right? She died. Hinting that, like, she died suddenly. No, she had breast cancer. People knew it, right? You could visit your mom. You could spend time with the mom. But that sounds more dramatic. I never thanked her. Cut 6, please. Cut 6. How does this square?
So I laid it all out in pretty raw and emotional terms. And there are a number of stories there that really underscore and highlight that, including being with my mom when she took her last breath. But this is a book that just tries to lay it all out. And it's a book that will, make you, to the extent of any interest, not just understand me, but I think the world we're living in, what it's like for single moms. You talk about heroes. What it's like, right?
Right? See how he's kind of glomming on? Single moms? Who doesn't love single moms? Oh, okay, clap, Atlanta, clap. Sounds like, what's his name? Jeb Bush. Please clap. He didn't. Single moms, gonna give it up for the single moms. You hear that part about I was there when she took her last breath? What about telling your mom how thankful you were when she was alive, right? He implies that he couldn't because she died suddenly. But then again, in the book, he's talking to her, right? He has access to her. But it sounds better. It sounds more interesting that way. Now, here's the thing. He says, let me just jump down to this if you don't mind. Again, he mischaracterizes his own book. Cut 14, please.
I'm not trying to be someone I'm not. I can't do that anymore. I tried that for a long time, and I wasn't happy.
Tried that for a long time, and I wasn't happy. When did he become this genuine person? When they tried to recall him a couple of years ago, he said that totally changed him. And the Palisades fire. He says he was up against a lot because people were making fun of him. Elon Musk and the rest were all over him. And he came out a different person on the other side. A different individual. He's changed. What about the people who lost their homes? What about the people, right? The fire. He's changed by the fire because people were making fun of him on social media. Elon Musk, conservative media, Hannity, me, President Trump. He went through so much. So you just heard him say there, well, I've been, not true to myself. And what did he say again? He talked kind of fast. Cut 14 again.
I'm not trying to be someone I'm not. I can't do that anymore. I tried that for a long time, and I wasn't happy.
So that sounds like a good thing, right? And we don't have the bandwidth to really think much more about Gavin Newsom. Right now, he's on a trajectory that's going to take him to the White House if something doesn't happen, right? If we don't get real about this guy, if people don't smarten up, we can't let him, can't happen, folks. So how did he put that right there? I was trying to be somebody I was not, and I wasn't happy doing that. And he started being himself last year. What about all the people who voted for him since 1996? What about those schmucks? What did they vote for? What were you then? What are you now? What about the gap in between? There's no accounting for that. And in his book, He doesn't write that he was wearing a mask and he wasn't happy. He writes the opposite, actually. He was adopting identities and succeeding. He copied people and benefited. Anybody here at Tony Robbins? You know Tony Robbins, right? You never heard of Tony Robbins? Oh, he's a great guy. This is self-help. And I like him. I actually listened to his tapes back in the late 80s, early 90s. He was all over the infomercials. Personal Power. And I listened to him. Well, Gavin is somewhere, and he listens to him too. And it's in his book. See, not only have I read the book, but I also know Tony Robbins stuff, right? I know what... Listen to this. It's fascinating. It really is. I'm going to get everybody there. Cut 7.
At the age of 24, I still saw myself as a neophyte and wondered how I might find my place in such a frenetic world. I wasn't necessarily seeking a guru, but there on the TV screen, I found Tony Robbins, the self-help evangelist with a mighty jaw and mighty hands. I bought his motivational tapes and played them on Andrew's Walkman.
Andrew being his rich roommate. You couldn't afford your own Walkman, pal. All right. It's always a con job with this guy. Okay, Tony Robbins, I bought the tapes too. But then what happens? Cut 8.
I understood it then. Robbins was dispensing some variant of neurolinguistic programming, which offered a fix for those suffering phobias, depression, low self-esteem, self-sabotage, and tied tongues. The fix was not only easy, practically instantaneous. Find a person who embodies all the outward traits of personality, bearing, charisma, language, and power lacking in yourself. Study that person, copy them. The borrowed traits may fit awkwardly at first, but don't fret. You'll be surprised how fast the pose becomes you and you the pose.
So that's an amazing thing to say in a political memoir. Copy it. Pose that way, and you'll be surprised how fast the pose becomes you and you the pose. Now, he's not saying that this is a bad thing. He's saying, like, you can do this too. You can be somebody you're not. Here's how to do it. Now, oh, by the way, this is not what Tony Robbins teaches. This is his bastardized takeaway, which is wrong. He's totally wrong about it. Neurolinguistic programming is not that. It's not copycat. It's complex. It's interesting. It's nuanced. It's not this. And it's about discipline, and it's about motivation and all kinds of things. And just copycat people. Copycat. And then he's going around telling people, yeah, just be a copycat. Cut 9.
If the chosen model happened to be Robbins himself, all the easier, because he had written more than one bestseller, Awaken the Giant Within, Unlimited Power, that personalized the process of personal transmutation. Skeptics were dismissing the Robbins success system as outright cant, the creed of a new pop psychology. But Robbins had been a janitor in a high-rise building in Glendale only a decade before, and the examples he brought to the page of people constantly under-aiming their potential reminded me of me.
So then his takeaway is go around copying people. He's a poser. And when he writes these words, he doesn't like say anything like, I know this sounds funny, or remember what he just said about wearing a mask, and he wasn't happy doing that. But this is in this book, he says he's happy doing it. And putting on a mask, copying people, pretending he's something he's not. And he does this his entire life. Up until 20 minutes ago? How about this? Gavin Newsom, when he gets busted in the affair. Everybody knows that Gavin Newsom had an affair, right? With his best friend's wife, which is pretty low. In my book, quite frankly, it takes you out of contention to be president of the United States. People have affairs. It's regrettable. It's not right. It's sinful, quite frankly. You know what I mean? But we're all sinners. But this is what Gavin Newsom says about it publicly. Where are you? Cut 10, please. Cut 10.
Everything you've heard and read is true. And I am deeply sorry about that. I've hurt someone I care deeply about, Alex Turk, his friends and family. And that is something that I have to live with and something that I am deeply sorry for. I am also sorry that I've let the people of San Francisco down.
Okay. Now, that moment really should have been bigger than it is. It's barely a blip in his career, right? Nobody ever mentions that. It's more. It's actually a thing. It's a failing. But he can't say he was drunk and horny and hooked up with somebody he had access to. He can't say that. He has to elevate it because you know what he is? He's a pseudo-intellectual. Remember that term, pseudo-intellectual? That used to be a negative thing. We don't talk about pseudo-intellectuals anymore, possibly because there are a lot of them. Also possibly because, well, we don't value genuine intellectuals like we do, so fewer people are, this is the opposite. Fewer people are copying intellectuals because you can't really make that much money being an intellectual. And it's all about the money, huh? So back to the book. You heard what he said there. This is what he says. Why did you have this affair? What happened? Now, he brings it up in his own book that he's going on TV nationwide to talk about. No one's ever asked him about this phony baloney. Cut 11.
The fool who rushed into a marriage he could not explain to his mother or himself. The single mayor who could not fathom all the flattery he was receiving and decided to subvert himself with an act of self-sabotage.
So he's talking about a conversation with his therapist, and this is what he learns about himself, that he was the single mayor who could not fathom all the flattery he was receiving and decided to sabotage himself, an act of self-sabotage, because he didn't feel like he deserved the praise. Now, that's one hell of a thing to write. He had to elevate it, by the way. This is like kind of pseudo-intellectual. Drunk and horny sounds so base, so crass. How did he put it again? Listen closely again. It's just fascinating to me. This 11, cut 11.
The fool who rushed into a marriage he could not explain to his mother or himself. The single mayor who could not fathom all the flattery he was receiving and decided to subvert himself with an act of self-sabotage.
Decided to subvert himself with an act of self-sabotage because he couldn't handle the flattery of being mayor. How in the hell can he be president of the United States? He has just taken himself out of the running, okay? Because what comes with being president? A lot of power, a lot of perks, a lot of flattery. And he can't handle it? He can't handle that. He just might blow himself up over again. But this time the whole country would be. It ain't happening, Gavin. It ain't happening. Hey, if you told everybody the truth that you were drunk and horny, you know what I mean? People would have cut you some slack. Self-sabotage. Ain't happening. I know it. Now you know it. And pretty soon he's going to find out. We'll be right back.
Greg Kelly, entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
800-848-9222, 800-848-9222. Kevin Spacey is like available for dinner theater. Have you seen this thing? Kevin Spacey is all over the place. And I think he'll perform at your kid's birthday party. I kind of admire it. He was canceled. But he's not letting it hold him back. He's still out there doing stuff, performing. He loves it. He loves singing and dancing and acting, and he's doing things. Yes, I know I don't know what the hell he did. I know what he was accused of doing, bad stuff, but, I haven't seen the evidence. All right, who's this? Chris, hello, how are you?
Hey, Greg, how are you? Long-time listener. I just wanted to explain something. I am actually a person that is on it's called the SCN program with Medicaid.
SEN?
Yeah, Social Care Network. Now, there's a place out here in New York City called Public Solutions. Okay. I've been experiencing anything from racial discrimination to religious discrimination because I'm a Judeo-Christian, and every type of aspect. And also that I just came back from Fidelis, and they also offer the program, and they're telling me that they can't help me. I'm about to be homeless by tomorrow. I've been trying to call you guys, and I've been trying to get in contact with everybody from Nicole Malliotakis.
The radio station? You think the radio station can help? How the hell am I going to help? All right, look, now you're pulling on my heartstrings here. Put him on hold, all right? Put this guy on hold, all right? But I'm not optimistic. I'm sorry.
Thanks for listening to The Greg Kelly Show. You can hear The Greg Kelly Show weekdays at 12:15 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
The Marine Toys for Tots foster care program is bringing hope to children who need it most. Every 2 minutes, a child enters foster care, often with only a small bag of belongings. More than 400,000 children face trauma and uncertainty, many before age 8. This May, during Foster Care Awareness Month, Toys for Tots is creating Room for Joy. In 2025, nearly 375,000 children received comfort through toys, books, and essentials, reminding them they are not alone. Donate now and change a child's life.